my mental health journey, my journey with schizophrenia. This is something I have been dealing with since I was a young man. Or actually, I should say a kid. And my family always said young man whenever, even when I was a young boy. So sorry, I slip into that terminology. But I'm going to kind of share some of the things that kind of led up to it and what I believe caused the symptoms, anyways. So, as a young boy, and you can go and actually find this in my live file on here on my channel and everything like that, my live folder. I talk about my childhood traumas, some of the things that I experienced. There was a lot to it. I experienced a lot of really crazy things as a young child. Um, Key point, a lot of abuse, violence, things like that, as well as verbally being told that I was not enough in doing things, that I was not capable enough and not the proper choice in certain things and stuff like that. And so when those kind of things are told to you over time, they can really affect you and they can really mess with your mind. And they can really push a lot of negative things into your head. Well, I think over time, this went from being just my natural self doubts to hearing the voice like I do now. I have a very negative voice that is always telling me bad things. Now, this isn't like go harm someone kind of things. This is more of they want to harm me. They make me paranoid. They tell me that people want to hurt me. They tell me I'm not enough, that I am not a good person, that I can't do enough good things to outweigh the bad that I've done. Those kind of things, they try and put a lot of doubt in my head. So, one of the things that I believe is that, you know, yes, somewhere there is a part of me that knows that, yes, this is in some way my own thought processes. But then there's the other side that's like, is this really me? Because with schizophrenia and everything like that, it is so hard sometimes to differentiate because everybody tells me that this is my own thoughts. Everybody tells me that schizophrenia and the voice I hear is me and that it's just my disassociation and that I don't understand that it's a part of my own thoughts. But what I can say and what I know and understand is that I know when I'm having a thought in my head. I know and recognize that I'm thinking, that I'm processing something with my own thoughts, right? But then I hear a separate voice that sounds like someone is literally whispering in my ear all the time, and it's always negative. Hello, Zeke TR6U. I don't know if I butchered that. I hope not. Welcome to this. But anyways, with hearing this auditory hallucination, as they love to call it, and verb it as, I hear it as like someone is literally whispering in my ear all the time. Hello, hello, welcome to this. Appreciate you being here. I apologize for not trying to pronounce your YouTube channel name. Um, so, one of the other things too is when I was young, it did not start as a voice. I experienced my hallucinations very differently. It started where I would see shadowy figures at the corner of my vision. And so, one of the things that I would kind of do is I would try and kind of just disassociate with everything that I was seeing because I would see these shadowy figures at the corner of my vision and everything like that, and they would frighten me. And progressively, it became different to where I would actually start to see what appeared to be people, and you know, I tell a lot of stories, and I've told a lot of stories on here where I experienced stuff that I thought is paranormal. But now that I look upon it, I go, well, was it so much paranormal, or was it that I was just hallucinating? Because I am a schizophrenic. And as a young kid, I would perceive that I was seeing ghosts because I wouldn't understand my symptoms. And I think that's perfectly normal as a child, right? And so one of the things is it wasn't until later that my symptoms started to change. Um, so as I got older, I went from seeing things to all of a sudden I started hearing things. Yes. And so it started very simply. Uh, how it started is I would hear as if someone was shouting or calling my name from a distance. And that's all it started as. I have never seen The Rake. People say ghosts are real, and I'm not discrediting that ghosts are real, but as a schizophrenic, I cannot discredit the fact that I was probably just hallucinating what I was seeing. That's all I'm saying. So for me, I started hearing a voice in the distance calling my name, and I would think that it was genuinely someone doing so. But here's where it got to where it was very disconcerting. I would hear this when I was the only one around. And so when you are literally the only one in a situation, you're by yourself, and you hear someone in the background going, hey, saying your name and stuff like that, it's kind of weird, right? So then I had to really start looking and reflecting in on myself and going, you know what? Maybe there is something more to this. Maybe there's more going on here. Well, then, as I got into young adult years, into my uh, 20s, this started shifting even more, and I would hear more conversating things. It would be calling out to me, trying to tell me to do something or do different things. And then when I got about to 30 years old, um, 34 now, so give reference of time frame. Uh, when I turned 30, that's when it changed to where I fully hear a voice whispering in my ear all the time, and it is extremely, extremely negative. As I said, this is something that tells me that people are out to harm me. It tries to ramp up my paranoia. It tries to make me feel like I have to be in a fight or flight to survive. I cannot, and I recognize this. I'm medicated. I'm going through therapy, psychiatry, everything. Um, I cannot be by myself around people I do not know for long periods of time without experiencing extreme paranoia. And I recognize this, I know this. Because that voice in my mind tells me that people want to hurt me. And so then I start going through the steps of what do I need to do to survive in this situation. That's where I recognize the danger of my condition. So, one thing with these kind of things for mental health and stuff like that that a lot of people don't realize is it is based around something that has happened to you in your life. You don't just end up with these conditions for no reason. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't other underlying things that could cause it, but typically it's trauma. Typically, it's something that happened to you in your past that's caused these things to happen. It's a mental response, it's your mind trying to handle it. Hello, Justin Ashamala. I hope I pronounced that right. Let me know if I didn't. Um, so one of the things, other things that can be, and if you feel it is not some sort of trauma, that you feel you had a good upbringing and everything like that, and nothing would really lead to this. Thank you for confirming that I pronounced it properly. So one of the other things is for schizophrenics and other people that have a lot of mental things, it can be other things. It could be brain edema, which edema is just swelling, right, of your brain, things like that. Um, and this can cause those symptoms too. Because when your brain starts swelling, one of the things is it starts squishing and squeezing your brain. There's more pressure. This can cause problems. And so it can actually affect how your mind functions. And when something's getting squished like that, it actually can starve your brain. And so you start to get brain starved. Now, here's something that I just learned recently that's very, very interesting to me. And I'm still looking more into it. I don't know how much of this I really trust yet because it's still, I don't know, it's barely been talked about. So, one of the things that I learned about schizophrenics and some of the other people that have these mental disorders and stuff like that naturally have them. This is not the ones that have some sort of problem from like head trauma or something like that, right? So one of the things I learned is that people with these conditions, for whatever reason, their body is not processing the glucose, so your blood sugar levels. They're not processing them right. Now, this does not mean that you are just sitting there holding glucose in your bloodstream. I will get to this in a second. But because when I looked into this, I was like, well, my blood sugar levels are really, really great. And they said, and there's been these tests that people with these mental health conditions have problems with breaking down glucose. And it's starving their mind because their body's not processing sugar as energy. So your mind gets brain starved because it's not getting the energy it needs from the sugar in your bloodstream. So, one of the things that it does and it causes is because your brain is starved for that energy that you're not getting from your body breaking down your blood sugar, you are experiencing these conditions because it can cause minor swelling to your brain when it is brain starved. It is no different than when you get really, really, really tired, you're not sleeping, and your eyes start getting puffy and everything like that, and you feel like they're kind of bulgy and they just kind of feel discomfort. It's the same with your brain. So, one of the things that I heard in a study recently is that for people that have these sorts of conditions, one of the best things for them, at least to give them some comfort with these, is any sort of fatty acids. And I don't mean things that are going to make you fat. A lot of people misconstrue that. Fatty acids are the natural acids that you need from certain foods to go into your bloodstream. It's healthy for you, it helps you, and it's actually an energy source. People with these conditions, if they eat things like, fish, chicken, things like that, these natural fatty acids will actually give your brain the energy it needs because you're not breaking down that glucose properly, and you will actually have a better energy source and your mind will work better. Your mind will function better. And so here's one of the things that I learned too, is because when I was looking into it and they keep saying that, people with these conditions don't always break down sugar properly, I was like, well, you know, I had times in the past where I've checked my blood sugar levels, just because, you know, my girlfriend and stuff like that was checking hers. So I was like, you know what? Why not? Let's check mine. And they were always within normal levels. And I was like, well, when I started thinking about it, I was like, how can my stuff be in normal levels if I'm not breaking down glucose properly and it's just sitting in my bloodstream? Well, here's what I learned. And this is kind of scary in its own right, guys. People with these conditions, when this happens, their pancreas starts ramping up and it is pushing out a shit ton of insulin. Your body is pumping so much insulin from your pancreas to deal with these blood sugar levels. And I'll explain why this is scary. Because when an organ in your body has to ramp up in order to compensate for something, like in this case with people not that with these conditions not breaking down glucose, your pancreas will increase the insulin to kick out that extra sugar that's in your bloodstream. So here's a scary thing for people with these conditions. Your pancreas can give out early because of the fact that it is working harder to break these sugars down in your body. So, yes, you will stay at normal sugar levels as long as your pancreas is functioning. And if your pancreas goes out, then your sugars are going to go high. You're going to probably become a diabetic. But they say you can counteract these conditions because me being a schizophrenic, I have learned that yes, my body does not process sugar properly. And so my pancreas has to kick out this excess sugar. And the only way I'm feeling energetic is when I do have those natural fatty acids from fish, chicken, other things like that are healthy and good for your bloodstream and are used as an energy source. Then my brain doesn't feel starved. I feel more energetic. I feel awake. Because when I am consuming anything that has sugars and everything like that, I feel lethargic because my body is not processing it. And so then I start feeling a mind fog. I start having more of my symptoms, and my symptoms amplify in these moments. They get worse. So, knowing if you have any of these conditions, and this is not just schizophrenia, this is anybody that has extreme depression, anxiety, anything like that. If you have any of these underlying conditions, just know, and you can confirm this in different tests and stuff like that, your body is not breaking down sugars properly if you have these conditions, a good chance of the time. And so your body is trying to compensate. And so to give yourself and your brain the energy and the sustenance it needs to function properly, you need to be switching up what you are eating. Now, I'm not saying you have to go extremist because a lot of people go, oh, well, the best diet for people with these conditions are the ketogenic diet, which is the keto diet, right? It's very extreme, guys. And I'm going to tell you right now, most people can't follow it. And there's reasons for that. You literally cannot eat a lot of certain things if you are going to go on a full ketogenic diet because it cuts out rice, cuts out breads, it cuts out potatoes. You can't have most like root vegetables. Uh, you can't have fruit. It's too sugary, which the sugars would be a problem for you. There's a lot of things on it that it makes it really hard to follow. So I follow a rudimentary version of it because there's just no way in hell you're cutting all that out. I mean, it makes it insane trying to follow that kind of a thing. So really what it is knowing yourself and knowing how you feel when you have and consume things. I used to be religious. I was very strongly religious in the past. That changed when I got to a certain age. I was a young man. Well, no, not quite. I was still a teenager. I was probably 17, 18, and then that shifted. Um, are you going to tell me I'm possessed? Was that what you're getting at? Because I mean, I've heard it all before. I've even contemplated it because I mean, how can I not be sure, or how can I be sure, right? Because I mean, I hear a voice talking to me all the time, whispering negative bad things that I'm going to get harmed by people and things like that. So yes, I have thought it all through. I can't say for sure. Who knows? I mean, I'm no more sure than people are sure that, there is a great beyond out there. Who knows? Nobody knows. Unless you have died and gone, you don't know. So I can't say for sure. But here's the thing. I have not been pushed to do things really. For me, it's almost this thing's trying to like manipulate me in a way, if that makes sense. This voice, it uses the paranoia around what other people will do to try and coax a reaction from me, if that makes sense. Because if it can get me scared of what others may or may not do, then it makes me want to react. Um, I'm going to share this with you guys. So, I actually, while, having this condition, I tried to go work. I tried to go work for basically like a house cleanup kind of uh, hauling crew kind of thing. It was basically we went, we cleaned, we moved out things that were in these homes and stuff like that, and we prepped them to be sold. I was literally there 2 days with my employer, and I literally, my mind started spinning that she was trying to kill me, that she was after me. And when I would be in a room and I'd have my back turned, it got me so ramped up that she was going to attack me that I started looking at all the different items and things that we had for cleanup process. And my thought process was, it's me or her. That's how bad my condition can be if I am not careful. And so, knowing this, I keep around people I know and trust because at least with them, I can keep myself in check. Now, I'm not saying that I can't go out in public, that I can't function by myself. I can go out and do things like I'll go shopping and stuff like that. I'll pick up my things, and I'm polite to people. I'm not a dick. I'm not like totally introverted. I'm not like scared to interact with people. I can do so. I'm not saying I can't. It is when I have prolonged time frames with people that I don't know and trust that that's when my mind starts to spin. But if I'm in a quick like in and out, I can go to a store, I can grab my items, I can interact with people, I can be friendly, and then I'm out because I know that I'm leaving. Yes? And so one of the biggest things is recognizing this. But if I have prolonged time where I'm around and doing things, because there's times where me and my family will go shopping and we'll do things and we go to the big old like kind of warehouse stores and stuff like that. If I'm around and I'm in that kind of a large crowd, I need people I know and trust because when I'm in crowds, everything ramps up. I hear more. It's not just that single voice now. It starts spreading to whatever they're saying. It starts twisting it and making it sound like different shit. And so then that can really start to bother me. And my family and peers recognize that when I start to have my problems and I'm starting to hear things, I get quiet. I get very quiet. I'm very introverted. I'm very to myself. And they see this. And so when they see that I'm very in my head and I'm to myself and I get quiet, they recognize that I'm struggling with the crowds that I'm in. And so then that's when they start trying to talk to me. They start trying to engage me because they know that if they keep me engaged and I'm talking with them, it distracts what I'm hearing in my head. And so they know that that is a stratagem to help me get past what I'm experiencing. And it can be very, very hard and dark, guys. And for all of those that experience this stuff, please, like, if you don't have a support team, you need to find somebody, someone that knows what's going on. And if you recognize that it's hard for you to be in public around others with this, and it helps you to have people that you can talk to and engage with to get you past it, you need that, guys. You really do, because it will help you. It will help you get past everything. So please, 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 please get that, find that. Um, and just know that it is through others that you can trust and that you know and love that you will get through any of these symptoms. You need a support team. And I have found that in people that I know and love and trust because that's what helps me get through the moments that are the most difficult. Because I have my very dark days, guys. It gets to me sometimes. Most of the time, I can ignore what I'm hearing in my head. And I just go, you know what? You're a dick. I don't need to listen to you. Screw you. Oh, screw off, and I ignore it. But other days, I don't have such high defenses, and it does get to me, and it does bother me. I get very down. I get very depressed. I get very dark days. It just happens. You can't be 100% all the time. You know what I mean? And so I do struggle at times. And when I have these moments, I have to have my distractions. And if I don't, then I struggle. And it is knowing who can be there for you and who is going to help you the most that will get you through it. And I just want to say to anyone that is experiencing this, being a schizophrenic myself, I understand mental health issues. And if you need to talk to someone and you don't have those people out there, please, I will understand what you are going through because, like I said, as a schizophrenic, I have my dark days and I need people too. So if you ever need someone to talk to and you don't have anyone else, comment on my videos and just tell me what's going on. I will respond to you. I respond to everybody that comments on my stuff. I get back to everyone unless you're being a dick, then I just ignore you. But if you need someone to talk to, guys, please, if you have no one else, reach out to me. Comment on my stuff. I will get back to you as soon as I see it. I respond as fast as I can because I want you guys to know that I am here for you guys. That is why I do all of this. It's for you. I am trying to help and bring things to people's awareness and everything like that for you guys. Because everything that is going on out there is just getting darker and crazier, and we need each other. And it is through each other that we will get through all this and get past this. And so be there for one another. And like I said, if you guys do not have someone, reach out to me. I will respond to you as soon as I see that it is there. And you can engage with me for as long as you need. I don't care. I will reply as much as I need to and as much as you need. I am here for each and every one of the people that are seeing this. If you need someone and you are going through a dark place and a dark time right now, reach out. Don't let it win, because a lot of these conditions can bring you to a place that can get really scary. And we need people. We need human interaction. We are human beings. That is literally in like our genetic coding. We need others. There's all these people out there that think, oh, I can get by being by myself, and they're extreme loners and stuff like that. Even those people need people. They just don't know it yet. We are genetically made to have that interaction, to have that human discourse. We need each other. And knowing my condition and how I am and everything like that, it limits how I can do that. But this is one of the ways I've been able to interact with people. This is why I do this channel. It's why I made this channel. It's so I can have some sort of interaction with people. And that's why I love when you guys comment and you say things and you do stuff, and I try and respond and talk to you guys because it's my way of having that interaction, because I don't get as much of it. Being a schizophrenic, I don't get out. I can't. I struggle with being around strangers. It's hard. And so this is my way of being able to interact with people that I don't actually know. But I can get to know you. I can talk to you guys, and I can, if I can help you in any way, and sometimes you guys help me. Some of the things you guys have said are more of a help to me than you guys realize. And so just be there for each other, guys. Spread the love, to talk to each other, be there for each other. Things are getting so crazy nowadays, and I think people are forgetting that we just need to be there for each other. We need to help each other. I don't know what you're saying hell no to, brother, but you are not helping anything with what you said. I see. You're an animal person, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that you can't do whatever, but you need people. I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you right now, people is the interaction. A lot of people that shut themselves out and do things like that where, they think that the only interaction is with animals and stuff like that. It's great and it will do a lot of good things for you. And I'm not saying that it's a negative thing in any ways, but in the end, it is having a connection with another person that's really going to get you by. And I'm not saying love, I'm not saying anything. I mean, friendships, those kind of meaningful things like that, that's what's going to get you by. And being able to actually talk and have someone reciprocate back and state things that they know and understand that you're going through will get you further than an animal sitting there just listening to you dredge on and having no real feedback for you. That's not going to help you. Sorry. Um, so, anyways, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. This has been going on for a good 30 minutes now. But just know, um, be there for each other, love each other. Which is a person. You're just validating my point. But anyways, love y'all. You, I loved you. Have more people that care about you than you realize. They don't need to be your friend. All I said is you need human interaction. So just know that there are more people that care about you than you realize. It perpetuates. There is a whole wave of people out there that you don't even realize that care about you. And it's most likely because they're afraid to put out there just how strongly they care about you. And there's a lot of ripples to things that if you shut yourself and you isolate, you are hurting more people than you realize. So let that sink in. Let that kind of go through your mind. I'm going to wrap this up, guys. Take care. And for anybody that needs someone to talk to and everything like that, please, like I said, reach out, comment, talk to me. I'm always here. Love you guys. Take care of yourselves.